All right, thank you, Jared, for that wonderful insight into the tickets. Now we're over in the wonderful gambling corner. Nice little corner we got over here, very nice. I have a special guest, Josh, who's on Club Baseball with me. Josh, how you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me, Eddie.
Of course. So today we're going to look at a couple things. First of all, Josh, if you want to just go ahead and start talking about the national anthem and the coin toss.
So this year, the national anthem is at over under 95 seconds long, which that's kind of low because the average since 1990 is 114 seconds. But Mickey Guyton is singing this year, and she has a nickname Quickie Mickey. And in May of 2021, her only ever televised national anthem, it was in D.C., and she sang for only 86 seconds. So I have the under this year. And then for the coin toss, heads has hit 26 total times for 47%. Tails is at 29 times for 53%. Both sides are at minus 103 for the odds. I have tails just because heads has been on a little bit of a streak here lately. And when you have a 50-50 shot, you can't really have a really long streak.
The odds are on your side in both ways because you have the streak of, you said 5 years in a row?
Yes.
5 years in a row, heads, and also tails is more of a favorite all time. So both maths go against you. I like it. So now we're going to do some props. We each have a couple props. Josh, what is one prop that you really, really love?
My one that I will guarantee that it hits is the coin flip win decision. So it's at minus 500 for defer. That's where my money's going to go. It's at plus 375 for the receive. And in Sean McVay's career with the Rams, he's 48 of 48 when he wins the coin flip to pick defer. Zach Taylor is 26 of 27 to take defer.
I mean, that's even more overwhelming numbers than the coin toss. It's almost so overwhelming that I want to go the other way, but it's not. Like, it's one thing you pick heads, you pick tails. That's one thing. Deferring is such an advantage in almost every single way that it really borderline lock. For my first that I'm going to also, we're going to guarantee a 2-point conversion to be successful by either team plus 250. I mean, do I have to say any more? Both of these coaches are new age, go for it, aggressive type of coaches. With the uptick in 2-point conversions that we've seen in the last couple of years, for someone to not go for a 2-point conversion in a Super Bowl, when people go for 2-point conversions multiple times every week, I think this is a no-brainer. It happens all the time where it's, oh, we're down 1. What do we want to do? You know what? Let's go for 2. Let's try and whatever. I think a 2-point conversion to be attempted and completed plus 250 is a lock. Josh, you got another one that's maybe not your favorite, but something you really like and you think is going to happen.
I am just a fan of doing the Gatorade bath color for the coach. So the favorite this year is orange, and it's at plus 130, being the Bengals color. Blue is at plus 600, the next highest with the Rams color. So those might be pretty good options, seeing as the last 3 Super Bowls have been either orange or blue, 2 of them being blue, 1 being orange. But since 2001, the color has only matched the winning team 3 times. So my guess is going to be the long shot odds of purple at plus 1,200.
Purple. Wonderful.
And it hasn't hit since 10 years ago when the Giants beat the Patriots in 2012. So that's my money's going to go on purple.
I like it. And you said plus 1,200?
Plus 1,200.
We love the odds. Let's see. My next up is going to be Cooper Kupp to lead the game in yards from scrimmage. That's plus 200. He's the best receiver in the NFL. He led in all the categories that really matter. He won Offensive Player of the Year. I mean, what else you got to say? He catches the ball a lot, like a ton. He led the league in receptions. He catches a ton of balls. He's a good yards after catch guy. He's a deep threat here and there. It's not exactly his entire game, but he can go deep for sure. And it's Sean McVay. He's had 2 weeks. They're gonna be coming up with end arounds, jet sweeps. They're gonna get their best player on offense involved. So I think that Kupp at plus 200 is great value. Chase is at plus 450, which I also think is good value. He had a game with over 270 yards this year. He's one of the best deep threats in the NFL, especially when he's combined with Joe Burrow. I think Kupp is probably a better choice, but if you're looking at someone else, I love Chase just for he gets one deep touchdown, a couple other long runs on catches. I think both of them are solid choices. And I know our last two are both field goal ones. Would you like to go ahead with yours?
I have Evan McPherson over 2.5 field goals made. He's basically been the Bengals MVP this season in the playoffs, being a rookie too. Evan is 4 for 4 on field goal attempts in all 3 playoff games so far, and he's contributed to 40 total points in the playoffs by himself.
Mine is game field goals at 3.5. That's plus 130. Like he was saying, McPherson, I think, is the second best kicker in the league behind Justin Tucker, who's the greatest kicker of all time. So him, two by him is, I think, a lock. I think that's no problem. And then Matt Gay, who's the Rams kicker, isn't the best from deep, but he's reliable inside close. If they get in the red zone, maybe stall out. He's not missing one inside the 25. So I think the over of 3.5 field goals I love it. Great. Next, we got a little parlay we designed up for you at home to get in on some of the action. It's a 4-legger. We have the first half under of 24.5. Josh, this was your choosing. What are we thinking?
I have the first half under 24.5 just because in the last 5 Super Bowls, in the first 6 minutes of all those games, there were no points scored in any of them. And in addition, the Bengals lately have been scoring way more points in the second half, especially with their 2 17-point comebacks against Kansas City. I have it way under, and I even will take, if you want to sprinkle a little bit, the over 23.5 in the second half.
Oh, I like that because a little slow rise up, lots of points. Who don't love points? We all love points. Next up, another one of Josh's. We had over 5.5 receptions for OBJ at plus 116. I also love this one. He's the number 2 receiver on the Rams, behind the best receiver in the league. So a lot of attention is going towards Cooper Kupp against a shaky Bengals secondary. I think that they're going to try and get OBJ involved early and often, get his confidence up, because that's the type of player he is. If he doesn't get the ball, he'll start being upset, and that's not what the Rams want. The Rams want happy OBJ. Happy OBJ can help them out tremendously. So the 5.5, I love that. Next up, we have Samar J. Perine over 10.5 receiving yards. I was quite surprised when I heard receiving yards from our good friend Josh here. That's minus 110. Josh, why are we going with the over here?
So the over 10.5 I really like. If you looked at the last couple games in the playoffs, third down, Samaje Perine has been on the field almost every single time the Bengals were on third down. And he had 3 catches for 41 yards and a touchdown in the Chiefs game when being behind. I think the second half, they are going to be trailing. They're going to need to get some high-powered offensive passing yards. And I think with them having to cover those 3 receivers in Boyd, Higgins, and Jamar Chase, he's going to slip out of the backfield and get a couple passes.
I like it. And then the last one for the fourth one, this is borderline a no-brainer. Aaron Donald to record a sack, yes, minus 192. The odds speak for themselves, minus 192. He's the best player in the league. He's one of the greatest defensive players of all time. And he's going against a Bengals offensive line that is shaky at best. When going up against really top-tier defensive lines, which the Rams have, even just a couple weeks ago against the Titans. How many sacks did they give up?
9 against the Titans and then 7 last week against the Chiefs.
we'll get to our picks in a little bit, and it's going to quite contradict what I'm saying right now. But Aaron Donald is an absolute monster, and for him to not record a single sack all game would be truly mind-boggling. That'd be shocked. I'd be shocked. With those four combined, we get up to plus 895 for 10 to win 99.51. As a gambler who tends to struggle sometimes because I don't always bet with my head, I came up with a little way to think about it. We're here to make money, not fortunes, all right? We're not, this isn't 10 to win 8K. We're not Mattress Mac. We're not balling out here. We're here to make money, not fortunes, all right? And that's what I think this parlay can do, and I'm sure Josh agrees because it was mostly his idea. And then finally here, we can go through our personal picks. Josh, let's hear it. What do you think?
I have the Bengals money line plus 163. Overall in the playoffs, they look so much better than the Rams. Rams looked shaky against the 49ers 2 weeks ago. They did seem to handle Tom Brady and the Bucs pretty good, but overall, I think the Bengals have gone down with adversity, and even though losing to teams like the Bears and the Jets this year, Joe Burrow is at the peak of his career right now. He looks better than he did in the national championship run, and many forget that he was the odds-on favorite to win Rookie of the Year before he tore his ACL last year against Washington. And coming off the ACL tear, being the most hit quarterback in the league, he still is dominating. He's still throwing for 400-yard games, and he is a top 5 quarterback in the league, and as you mentioned earlier, being the best quarterback in this game, most important position on the field, I have them winning.
Great minds think alike. I also have the Bengals money line plus 163. I mean, at the end of the day, like Josh said, the most important player on the field is quarterback, and the Bengals have the best quarterback. And not only do because I do like Matt Stafford. He's good. He's good. I think he's even borderline great. I really do like Matt Stafford. But I think Joe Burrow is that guy, and he can overcome for the shaky offensive line. He's done that week in and week out. I don't see a way that Joe Burrow doesn't win this game. And just to leave you with one final thing, I mean, only 2 players ever have won a college national title, a Heisman, and a Super Bowl. Joe Namath and Joe Montana. Joe Burrow, that's 3 Joes, he has a chance to do that as the 3rd player ever in not only his 2nd year in the NFL, his 2nd year in the NFL after being hurt with an ACL in his rookie year, and not only that, but he would do all those 3 things within 3 years. It's just only his 2nd. Within 3 years, he's in the national championship, wins it. Heisman runner, wins it. Super Bowl in his 2nd year. I think he's going to win it. I think Joe Burrow's that guy. I think he's just like the other Joes. I think we're seeing one of the next great quarterbacks in the NFL. Anything else, Josh?
Nope.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for coming.
Yeah, thank you for having me. See you at the cash table.
Hopefully. One can hope. Thank you to Jared, Talia, and Patrick, and we'll see you guys next time.